As we start to ease stay-at-home restrictions in response to the virus, the country's largest union of educators has released its nationwide guidelines for returning to schools and also warns of the potential loss of nearly 2 million education jobs due to the economic damage. Here to discuss is Lily Eskelsen Garcia, president of the National Education Association. Lily, thanks so much for joining us.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
So what are the main takeaways from NEA's guidelines on returning to the classroom?
I like people to know I am an excellent sixth grade teacher. I am not an infectious disease expert. So we were getting so little guidance from the federal government, from the Department of Ed and Betsy DeVos. We just decided we're going to do this homework ourselves. And we talked to some of the top infectious disease experts, and they told us some pretty common sense things. There's more guidelines to opening a restaurant than to opening your local public school, but some of the things are remarkably the same. For instance, they said when it's time to open those schools, you are going to have to find some creative way of socially distancing those kids. Not easy, but we're creative. We'll look at all of the options. You're going to have to disinfect in a very specific way. You're going to need the masks, the gloves. You're going to have regular health checks throughout the day. So if someone gets a fever, you get them out as quickly as possible. All of the above. We've been sitting down with custodians, with school nurses, with teachers saying, let's try and work out these problems. And then another bomb falls. And school districts now all over the country are being told the tax revenue that funds your school has fallen off a cliff. You are going to have to look at massive layoffs. Now, how are you going to do what we need to do with fewer teachers, with fewer custodians, nurses, all of the support staff that our kids need? So this is not like finding a vaccine. We actually have the cure. It's funding, it's money, and we actually know where we can get it. The same place that billions, trillions went to businesses from Congress so they wouldn't have to lay off their workers so they could stay in business. We're asking them to do the same thing with public schools. And so the House has passed the HEROES Act, and now it's in the Senate, billions of dollars that would go to keep your public schools from having to lay off the staff that the kids are going to need in the fall. And it's just sitting there. So we need the public to help us. This is the civics lesson of our time. We need the public to contact people like Senator McSally. We need you to contact your senators and tell them, pass the HEROES Act and send our school districts the money they need to open safely.
A very important call out. Thank you so much for being a teacher. My mom's a Spanish teacher, so I know how hard you guys work. Thank you for your time and everything you're doing.
Thank you. Stay safe.
And stay where you are. The Morning Blend will be right back.